This is the second lesson for Hindu studies for high school level. And it is still introduction to Dharma, basics. This lesson is to explain what is Hindu Dharma, and if it is not a religion, what is religion itself then? So this lesson will focus on clarifying what Hindu Dharma is, what religion is, and why the two are different. So then I'm going to define what is Dharma. And then we will see what is religion and what is the difference between these two. And these are essential points which have to be clarified, because Dharma and religion are not the same thing. They do not have the same basis nor the same end goal. So many people believe that all religions are same, but then they translate Dharma as a religion. And therefore they say all religions are same. And then they further say, let us go to school, there are different paths, but the school is the same. That is also not true. The school may be different as well. So Dharma means that whatever is the destination that you have chosen, there are several paths. But religion says that there is only one path and one end goal and one destination. And you have to have blind faith in that, non-debatable points. These are something they don't want to leave room for further debate, expansion, clarification. You have to take it as given that A, there was a founder, B, he started it, C, this was a revelation, and this is the only path. And each religion has the same thing, that theirs is the only path. Whereas Dharma does not say that. Dharma says, visualize Dharma is an open-ended kind of thing. You may be having an assessment or understanding of your own self, and you have a certain goal, both material as well as on a thinking level, how to connect with the divine or higher purpose. So that is your Dharma. And I may define the same way. In other words, it's a line segment. And you can see a line has arrows in both directions, which means one arrow can move. I can move, expand the understanding of Dharma. You can also do the same thing. In other words, it is not limited to one end and one explanation. And it is not just understanding of one background, like a historical background, that X time is the time when this started. Open-ended line segment has no beginning and no end. So it is just time moving. And you will be surprised to know that in Hindu culture, as well as in Vedic lexicon, the word for yesterday is kal. And the word for tomorrow is also kal. What does that mean? The time is a line segment and no end, no beginning. What was yesterday is the part of a continuum. So you, with the help of this line segment, you understand the Dharma can be many things under the umbrella of the cosmic natural law, which bind the entire universe and leaves no one out and does not discriminate either. So under that umbrella, we will find out various our own self-realization, our own aspirations, and how to fulfill both ends and means. Now let us see what religion is. Religion is, think of a box. Now box can be open, not open-ended. The religion says, take one example of any religion which has one book. You open the box and they say, hey, this is religion. This is inside, there is a book. So you open the box and you will view the treasures of the Lord. Now, whoever is the Lord and whatever is the treasure, what it means is that there is somebody who wrote a book. That book is inside that, and the treasure is inside that. So it's all limited. So in this way, there is a difference between, you can see with the little bit of this graph, that there's a difference between religion. This is exclusion. Nothing else can come in except the founder of their religion, the revelation or the judgment of their founder, and enclosed or encompassed in that book. Now that book is the only way to reach God, as they say. And it is beyond logic. You have to take it on faith. And you are expected to have blind faith, because it is non-verifiable and you are not allowed to verify it. So this is the box. Box has a doctrine, dogma, and a book. Dharma is a line segment capable of expanding in any direction. It can be your path of self-realization. It may not be my path, but then it is Dharma, not violating the natural law. So now let's try to define Dharma as per Vedic explanation. So Dharma is Dharya iti Dharma, which means that which sustains humanity, all life, the whole system, the cosmos, or which provides nourishment, sustenance, survival, which is making life possible and progressive. That is Dharma. So Dharya iti Dharma. That path which aligns with the natural law, that is Dharma. So in other words, we have to align with that, following Dharma. In whatever way our aspirations take, it may be a long experiment, but you are moving forward in a certain direction that you defined, not the book defined, not the box defined. It never loses its application and relevance. This is another very important thing. Dharma is eternal. The laws which are sustaining, they applied 5,000 years back, and they will apply even after we are gone or new generations come. For example, we are not going to destroy the environment, right? Because if we destroy the environment, who will sustain the nature? Now, this particular point that we are not going to destroy the environment and disturb the balance in the nature, it was true X time ago, and it will be true Y time after this. Now, question is, does it apply today in the present times? Yes, we must protect environment, and there's a whole noise about it, even though nobody is doing much about it. But it is applicable. Now, will it be relevant in the future? Of course. Think of all these scenarios and really you figure out why it is necessary to follow the eternal laws of nature, because they are relevant today, they will be relevant tomorrow, and it will continue to be relevant. Now, that which is true for all times is relevant in all situations and is applicable regardless of time and place. What do we call that? It is eternal. And the Sanskrit word for eternal is Sanatan. Sanatan literally means eternal. What people call Hindu Dharma has always been known to the followers of Hindu Dharma as Sanatan Dharma. So, Sanatan Dharma means coming from ages before the Vedas were written, and when the Vedas were chanted, and when they were written, and when they are followed, and when they are being understood. So Sanatan literally means eternal. So Hindu Dharma is an eternal tradition. Even though it admits variations of understanding of the self, or the path of self-realization, or the path to link with the divine or the nature, that is regardless. Now let us see an example how eternal Dharma is. We take the example of cycles of seasons. Have they changed over the past 5,000 years? I mean, this is how much recorded history people know. Cycle of season is the same. There is winter, there is summer, in between there is spring, and then there is fall leading to the winter. And these are 4 seasons. Have they ever changed? No. Their timings have been changing because the Earth's rotation is getting different. And some of the things, timings of the seasons have changed. And people themselves say the weather pattern has changed. What do we mean? Weather pattern has changed. That doesn't mean the cycle of that seasons is changed. Cycle of the season is the same. Automatically, each of the 4 seasons keep following in a cyclical manner. But the weather pattern has changed because of the various other factors, including the tilt or slowing down of the motion of the rotation of the Earth. And that is why the timings have become little different. Similarly, life cycle of living things. This is a very important point. That is eternal. Everything which is born will die. It will be born in a small form. It will multiply cells. It will become bigger. It will reach full bloom, blossom. It will mature. It will become wiser. It will decay ultimately. change or morph out. What is morph out? All of you people who have studied biology and physics, you understand what is morphing. It does not mean the thing has disappeared, vanished completely. It means it has phased out in a different kind of way. So then the question is, will there be time when living things will stay deathless? No. If the answer is no, that means the pattern of life, origin of life to death, going through different stages, has always been the same. That is eternal. These are givens of the Sanatana Dharma. This is the reality of which we call Dharma, natural law. We cannot escape from that, whether we call ourselves by this name or by that name. Now let's go to, most people object to Hindu being a religion. First of all, we admit we are not a religion. So that part is not even a debate anymore. We ourselves, those people who are within the tradition, and they have internal comprehension of what is coming down to us through the oral tradition and what is coming to us as scriptures, books. Our understanding is Dharma, and we understand that it is not a religion. Okay, and we also know that we don't know there could ever be a founder of that. This understanding that Dharma has no founder is the most scientific element of Hindu Dharma. Only Hindus believe that there is no founder of Dharma. Cosmic reality was not created by person X or Y or anybody else. Science says the same thing, that time has no beginning, no end. So if you can tell me who created, how did the creation started, how did all these universes come around, then probably I will know who started Dharma. In the meantime, let us understand that there is no founder of Dharma. It is just cosmic reality, continuing a twirl of consciousness interacting with energy and continuously changing. Configurations are changing, formations are changing. It is on a continuous level. So there was no time when it was created. Something which is beginningless, we don't know who created, or could it be created. So there's no historical figure responsible for creating Dharma or the cosmic reality or consciousness, collective consciousness, collective energy, any of those things. There's no historical figure. Before Jesus was born, the universes were there, galaxies were there, the sun was there. And before anybody was born, any other divine figure or we can say prophets and saints and self-realized renunciates, all of these people, before they were born, Dharma was still there. And the cosmic energy was still there. 12 was still there. Jagat existed. Time was beginningless. And it is also endless. So we cannot say that Dharma, before Dharma, what was the time? And after Dharma, what is the time? So we cannot say before Dharma BD or PD. Just as you have BC and AD, we don't have that. BD or PD, post Dharma, because there is no time when Dharma was not there. And there will not be any time when Dharma will not be there. So Dharma is not based on human revelations and judgments, nor does it get affected by confessions or behavior of the intermediaries as priests. This is an important point. So now that we understand Dharma is, Sanatana Dharma is to do those kind of right actions, have those kind of right attitudes, and have those kind of right thoughts and interactions which will not hurt humanity or any other living thing or disturb the ecological balance. By killing animals, we are disturbing the ecological balance in the nature of things. So we are not going to be doing that. So Dharma is not based on any human being telling us that on certain days you kill thousands of turkeys. Nor does it say on certain days you celebrate the divine by killing all the goats and lambs. It doesn't make any sense. See, when the Americans first arrived, I mean the colonial people first arrived in America, they started killing whales and using its oil for lighting. What happened after that? Now everybody environmentalist and everybody is crying that, the whales are extinct or endangered species. Who made it endangered? This is an example of destroying the ecological balance. By killing certain species endlessly is destroying ecological balance. So we are going against Dharma then, which means respecting the place of all life, whether it is fauna or flora or marine life or bird life. All of these have a place in the ecology, in the system. It is the entire ecosystem. And we don't disturb it. That is Dharma. Now, how do I get to the point of understanding my Dharma in certain circumstances and abiding by truthfulness and respecting nature? That is not affected by anybody's judgment, anybody's dreams, hallucinations, or revelations. And it is not going to be my wrongdoing will not be mitigated by confessions or any priest praying for me or any priest consoling me or recording my confession and saying that, yes, you are free of the sin of what you did. That doesn't happen. If we did something wrong, if the whales are killed endlessly for 300 years, whales were killed. Confession that we killed it is not going to bring them back. So our actions are important. They have to be according to the Dharma, and Dharma is the righteous behavior. So this is the concluding point, is that Dharma has no founder. It is the righteous actions going along with the cosmic reality or cosmic laws, natural laws, and violating that will not be Dharma. So everybody has to fit into that definition and find their own path, understand their own self, understand their place in the society, modify their social behavior or attitude toward the nature, and that is following Dharma. Thank you very much. This lesson will be followed by further explanations. Thank you again.